What's going on, trucking junkies? We're here at Beckert and Van Buren. Van Buren, home of people that don't want to live in Fort Smith, I guess. Pop. Oh, so it started raining a mile away from where when I pulled in here, a mile down the road. It's been threatening to rain all day. It just waited until I was here, which is awesome. Oh. We will probably go to Fort Smith, I'm gonna guess. Pick up some bar. That's usually where we go. There's a couple of places we can pick up around here. We can either go to Dow, Maverick, or Ream. Pick up some air conditioner stuff. Yup. I hope you can hear me because I've got my waterproof case on today because it's raining. Come on over there. Now, if I go pick up at Fort Smith, I'm not sure where they're going to send me. Because it's mid-morning Wednesday. Normally, we take that stuff to Laredo, Georgetown, a couple places in Michigan. That kind of stuff. Dun, dun, dun. Today we are going to talk about supply chain and the shortages that we're having right now. Come on off there. There you go. Alright, so if this is the first time you've watched my channel and clicked on it because I'm going to talk about supply chain today and how that affects us and how that affects you, you might want to know why the heck I think I can talk about it. Well, I have, get in there. I've got about 30 years experience in logistics. Two years in the Navy as a supply petty officer for the fueling division on an aircraft carrier. I ran their supply room, kept their books, ordered the stuff, distributed the stuff. I got out, went to, when I was 20, I got out, went straight to working for Walmart at a distribution center, and I worked there for 10 years and worked every aspect in that warehouse. Then I left there and I went to retail management, working for Staples for 5 years. I left that, helped a lady start a printing business. Was there for about 6 months after she got it started, or we got it started. Went back to Walmart, worked as a retail manager for them for about 10 years, a little over 10 years. And then I left there, and a couple of years ago I came to trucking. So as far as practical experience goes, I've got about 30 years in logistics in all parts of the supply chain. As far as education goes, my major in college was information systems, and the flow of information between systems and logistics was where I was focusing on. So I can pretty much tell you, from the time of manufacturing to the time it gets into your house, I can tell you the flow and the life of a product from inception to consumption. And I can tell you that not one single part of it is more important than any other single part of it. So there you go. That's the kind of experience I have. So you guys, I'm gonna get this finished. You guys stay tuned and we'll talk some more about the supply chain. So we are in Fort Smith at Maverick, waiting to be loaded. This load is going to Michigan. For Friday. I've already called them and told them I needed them to work on a swap for me. Told them I said I had $100 worth of candy to give out on Sunday. We'll get loaded here in a minute and we'll talk some more about supply chain. It is raining. I get to work out in the rain. I'm gonna take a shower while I'm here. And I have to do a survey while I'm here. Lord. Okay, so it is still raining. And I'm about to leave. We're going to Michigan. They changed my drop-off from Friday to tomorrow. We got 5 hours and 27 minutes. So they had me do a, stop that. They had me do a survey on the new mirror system, right? Guess what? They gave me a hat. It says Freightliner on it. Who wants a hat? I'm gonna give this hat away. Here's what you gotta do. Okay? You gotta subscribe. You gotta be a subscriber. Okay? And you gotta hit the like button. And you gotta leave me a comment down below. Comment, I want a hat. Everybody that comments that they want a hat, I'll put your name in a pot and we'll draw for the hat. Let's go. So, quick overview of why our supply chain is so jacked up. It's 2 reasons: COVID and overreaching governments. So COVID hit in waves, right? Starting in China. And as that wave and spike went, the governments of those countries started to shut them down and not let the workers work. So when you get over to the US, a couple of months later, we're already 2 months behind on the supply chain. That's the beginning of it, right? We shut down and nothing moves in this country, hardly. And we contribute to this supply chain issue. Okay, I want you to think of a supply chain as like getting stuck in a traffic jam. So you get stuck in a traffic jam, you know, and you're there for a good hour, and you get to the front of the traffic jam and there's nothing there, and why was there a traffic jam, right? Well, it could have been a car that stepped on their brakes an hour before that caused other people to step on their brakes and caused the traffic jam. It just hadn't cleared up. It could have been a wreck 2 hours before and the traffic jam just hasn't cleared up yet. All right, the supply chain's the same thing. When somebody puts brakes on the end of the supply chain, which is the consumer part, all other parts start to halt, right? They get backed up. Well, we hadn't started yet. The supply chain started, we hadn't started yet. So we're trying to catch up to the supply chain. There's plenty of supply out there now, it just can't get to us, right? Because we're still shut down. We're at the end of that traffic jam. They've started incrementally going faster, and we've not started yet. So, we have a supply issue, right? It's really a transportation issue, is what it is. So, what is our government solution about it? Joe Biden, our president, calls in the heads of Walmart, Home Depot, Target, I think some other major retailers, and asks them to keep their warehouses open and running 24/7. Well, I can tell you already that Walmart runs their warehouses 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's a 4-hour period in there where they don't run and they do some inventory stuff. All right, nothing is received, nothing is shipped out. 4 hours a day. And they've been running like that for a couple of decades. All right, they kind of started that when I first started working at Walmart at the warehouse. So it's not a warehousing issue. The warehouses can't get to stuff either. All right, it's not a retail issue. The retail workers can't get their stuff either. Okay, it's the transportation part of it, getting it from China or Taiwan or Singapore or wherever and getting it to the port, getting it off the ship, getting a truck driver to pick it up, and getting it to the warehouse that it needs to go to be distributed. It just is what it is. Now the problem there is, part of it is unionization. So dock workers and crane workers at these ports, they're all unionized, all right? And they're not going to work at the moment. And that's because you've got some of your government leaders out there telling people to stay at home and negotiate for a higher salary, which is a problem. I will tell you this, I researched how much a crane worker makes in LA, or Long Beach is where the docks are, okay? $250,000 a year for operating a crane. That's quite a bit. Now there, it's still quite a bit, but it's not as much as it could be. There is a shortage of truck drivers by about 65,000 truck drivers right now, which in turn doesn't help anything, right? When people don't go to work, stuff doesn't move, no matter what. People have to go to work for stuff to move, all right? And if they're not going to go to work, stuff can't move. Now, Joe Biden's come out and he has said that he has asked the docks on the West Coast to operate 24/7. All right, and they have agreed. The problem is when they agreed to go 24/7, they don't have the workers to do it 24/7. They also only have one crane that's going to operate 24/7, so they can say that they're operating 24/7. They have also put restrictions on truck drivers. They only want certain intermodal boxes back and only certain trailers back. So if you don't have either one of those, you can't drop off and pick up at the port. That's an issue. And because they are unionized, they cannot automate the port. Most world ports have automation on the cranes. They run themselves, right? And because we have unions here in the U.S., we can't do that. So it relies on a worker, which is fine. I don't care. Do it either way you want to. It doesn't matter to me, you know. But get the work done. You know, don't make us suffer because $250,000 a year is not enough for you. I'm sorry. Well, people need what they need. Trucking industry is trying to raise their wages. I know with Maverick this year, I've gotten a couple of raises this year already. My son, who was driving for Melton, he called me today, said they just got a 3-cent raise. New hires there are going to make 50 cents a mile. Let's get back over into this lane since that bus wants to speed up. So yeah, I mean, the trucking industry is trying to get people out here, but if the government pays you to stay home, why would you come out and work? I think there are people that need that stimulus money, and I think there are people that don't. My wife and I used some of it to pay for bills, and then we gave the rest away to people that needed it more than we did. But the supply chain affects all of us, right? Now, how does it affect you? You're not going to have on the shelves what you need on the shelves. And I'm not talking about wants, you know, I'm not talking about, well, I want a new radio for my car. Mine works fine, but I just want one. That's not what I'm talking about, okay? There are going to be shortages, and rolling shortages like we had last year. There are going to be shortages for the next 9 months to a year. And they're going to roll, and there are going to be things that you're going to absolutely need, all right? There may be shortages on medication. There may be shortages on food products. There may be shortages on paper products, toilet paper, paper towels. I don't know about y'all, but I keep those things in my house. You know, but the other thing that it causes is inflation. So when you don't have things on the shelves and you've got money being pumped into the system, it causes inflation. People are competing for your dollars, right? That you have an abundance of, and you're just going to throw money at it. And we continue to throw money at it, and it's just going to continue to inflate prices. It just is. When you have more demand for a product and you have less supply, the price goes up. That is economics 101. You'll learn that in high school. Throwing more money at it does not help. Every country that has inflated their currency out of existence has done this exact same thing. They have thrown a bunch of money at it, and they continue to throw money at it, and it just devalues the currency. And that's what it is. It is currency. It is not money. Money is gold, silver, platinum, rare metals. That is money. They don't lose their value as much as a fiat currency is what you've got. Anyway, sorry, going on a tangent about money. Anyway, my opinion is the inflation's going to stay. It just is. It costs more to ship things now because you've got less truck drivers. It costs more. You've got more ships sitting out in the ocean. You've got more containers sitting on a dock. It just costs more, and those prices that cost gets transferred to you and me. All right, inflation this is where we're going to be at. It may go down a little bit, but it won't go back to 2 years ago prices. It just won't. Gas might, but the things you buy at the store, you're going to see them stay up high for a while. I'm going to say 9 months to a year. Is the way I see it. That's how long I think this traffic jam is going to take to work itself out. Yup. Comment down below if you think differently. If you got any more insight on that, leave a comment down below. Let's go to Michigan.